Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Reese Stadium on the campus of Yale University for this evening's NPSL North Atlantic Conference matchup featuring Hartford City FC, and for the first time playing at home, New Haven United FC! Let's meet the starting lineups for this evening's matchup. First, for visiting Hartford City, who will be playing in gold and white. In goal, wearing 1, Nate DiLoretto. In the field, number 4, Christopher Cedarquist. Number 5, Ethan Mounts. Number 6, Jaden Daigle. Number 7, Andrew Bilby. Number 10, Parker Bosich. Number 11, Christian Dione. Number 13, Jaden Paniagua. Number 18, Jacob Woznicki. Number 21, in captain, Mark Grant. And number 25, Nate Betcher. The manager is Andy Parker. And now let's meet the starting lineup for your New Haven United FC. In goal, wearing 1, Alex Heinrich. In the field, number 2, Trent DeBruna. Number 3, David Rosen. Number 6, Alexi Armas. Number 7, Lucas Almeida. Number 8, Brentford Morgan. Number 17, Mohammed Kane. Number 19, Pau Santanach. Number 21, and your captain, Tyrone Molango. Number 23, Preston Alessio. And number 27, Alex Housechild. The head coach of New Haven United FC in their inaugural season is Gladys Cavallari. Fans, we ask you at this time if you're able to kindly rise and remove your caps for the playing of the national anthem of the United States of America. And a pleasant good evening. You're watching a presentation of the NPSL as we're coming to you from Reese Stadium on the campus of Yale University for this, the inaugural home contest for New Haven United FC. As today they take on an in-state rival, Hartford City FC. For this, the second match of both of these teams in the 2025 NPSL season. Last week, New Haven United went down to Queens to take on Osners FC and came away with a 4-1 victory with goals in that match coming from a handful of different players: Pau Santanach, Trent DeBruna, Lucas Almeida, and Lucas Silva off the bench. Meanwhile, Hartford City, their first match of the season was actually a couple of weeks ago. In fact, they played their game at Farmington Sports Arena in a rematch of last year's North Atlantic Conference Championship match. It went to penalties last year against New York Shockers. Well, this time around they won by the singular goal. That was just 1-0, and the goal came from
Theo Harris in that one. But both of these teams, a little bit of a different look. In fact, actually for Hartford City, it's a handful of different changes for first season head coach Andy Parker. As you may have heard over the loudspeaker, giving the starting lineups. We'll run through them after kick, but for New Haven United, pretty much the same starting 11 for head coach Cladis Capillari, the former St. Rose and University of New Haven product, as we're about ready to go here. It is New Haven kicking from right to left on your screen. They're in the dark blue jerseys with the big white numbers, and Hartford City are going from left to right in the gold jerseys, and we're underway as we kick off the home schedule for New Haven United. We'll rerun the starting lineups for you. First for New Haven United, Alex Henrich is in goal. Dren DeBruno wears 2, the standout formerly of Siena College, and actually the MAC Rookie of the Year in the Division I level. David Rosen wears 3. Alexi Armas wears number 6. Lucas Almeida wears 7. Renford Morgan wears 8. Mohamed Kane wears 17. Pau Santanach, keep an eye on him. He wears 19. He'll play as that target striker. Tyrone Malengo is the captain and wears 21. Preston Alessio, 23. And Alex Hochschild wears 27. As the ball into the box skips all the way through, it comes now to Kane. A little bit of heavy touch. A little 1-2. Just about comes off in the first save for Nate DiLoretto in goal. DiLoretto, an outstanding goalie over the course of the last few seasons for Hartford City. URI product, and in fact, he's actually going to be playing his graduate season with Sacred Heart University just down the road in Fairfield, Connecticut, as his clearance doesn't get far. Still being fought for by Alessio in the middle. It bounces to Kane, but it's cleared away at the first time of asking. Christian Dion getting fouled in the middle for Hartford City. It'll be a free kick for the visitors. Here is again their starting lineup. Is Nate DiLoretto, we said, in goal. Number 4 is Christopher Cedarquist. 5, Ethan Mount. Jaden Daigle wears 6. Andrew Bilby wears 7. Parker Vosic, 10. Christian Dion wears 11. Jaden Paniagua, 13. Jacob Woznicki, the Hofstra standout, actually had an outstanding season for the Pride this past fall. We'll get into that a little bit. He wears 18. Mark Grant in the middle basically has been there since day one for Hartford City. He is the captain, and Nate Betcher wears 25. Grant now trying to play through the lines for Dion. He gets upended. That'll be a free kick. David Rosen clipping down the Penn State Nittany Lion. And Hartford City will have a free kick just inside the attacking half of the field. We did have an absolute monsoon of a downpour right before kickoff, probably about with 20 minutes to go left in warm-ups, and then it literally stopped right as the players took the field. So the surface will be very greasy here on this Wednesday evening. It is humid. It's not 2 degrees, as this is pinged over the top, and a nice take by Malengo. Now comes to Dion. He's got options to either side. Dion, though, tackled off the ball by Tyrone Malengo, the current last season graduate assistant coach for the University of New Haven at the Division II level then. But we found out last week that UNH are going to be moving up to the D1 ranks, as the Chargers will be joining the Northeast Conference like Central Connecticut State and others. A free kick, and it'll be possession back over to the host. This one whistled on Parker Vosic. Vosic, the Northern Kentucky product. And New Haven will play around in the back. Now, I spoke earlier this week with New Haven's head coach, Cladis Capillari, and he said kind of that learning game for them last Sunday down at St. John's. That's where the match was played, but against Osners. It was one that was very kind of lethargic for the first 20, 25 minutes or so, that match. And then eventually they started to get going a little bit. And the big key for them was in the start of the second half, a little bit of a tactical switch by pressing. It's a good close down by Kane. And he'll get it here on this near side. He's got 2 options to aim for inside the box. Clips it across towards the back edge of the 18. Chests it away. And eventually collected by Bilby, the Providence College former prospect. But again, New Haven quick in their counter press, and they'll get it back here to Dren DeBruno. He's got Kane down the channel with 2 to aim for inside the 18. Kane toward the penalty spot, taken down well. Still being fought for by Santanach, but it's a late tackle by, that was Parker Vosic. just getting a toe in there at the last moment, and now Hartford City will look to break. That's looking for Woznicki, trying to go strength on strength against Malango, and New Haven at least held him up, but it'll be a free kick for the visitors. Look to try and play quickly. So I spoke about Woznicki for a moment. This is a player that actually started his collegiate career at Stonehill, had 19 goals over 50 matches for the Skyhawks. Then he moved to Hofstra and had an absolute blinder of a grad student season. 9 goals, 5 assists. First team All-CAA and All-Region as well, and he actually ended up drafted in the second round of the MLS Super Draft by the LA Galaxy, but is plying his trade with Hartford City. One of a number of players that hail from the Nutmeg State, which is kind of interesting where these two teams so early on in the season are getting a chance to tangle, because we haven't had a interstate battle in the NPSL since the 2018 season. It was actually not too far away when it was Hartford City taking on the then Elm City Express. Elm City, who won this league in 2017, folded after the conclusion of the 2018 season. But they're not wasting any time having these two teams go at it. In fact, they're going to be playing each other on the weekend up in Hartford, as Dion trying to get around the man, and referee waves away shouts of a handball on David Rosen. As we're into the 6th minute here, no score. Hartford City's Nate DiLoretto with an early save on Mohamed Kane. That was about in the 3rd minute. Comes now to Alex Housechild. Housechild, the Duke product, didn't play in his freshman season last year, but the former NYCFC Academy player, and this New Haven roster is absolutely littered with players that have had experience at MLS Next and USL Academy. In fact, a handful of players on this team have actually appeared in USL Championship first team matches, Dren DeBruno being one of those players, also Agnaldo Germano, who's part of the Hartford Athletic Academy last year and was signed to what they call a USL Academy first team contract, so you can still maintain your NCAA eligibility. Is Nate Betcher now to this near side, a former University of Hartford product, cuts it back. Now to the feet of Bilby. Andrew goes through with Mark Grant. Back in 2022, Grant named to the NPSL Best 11, so that's the best 11 players all across this league, which is coast to coast geographically. Comes back to Grant at the edge of the area. He'll let it go, and it's a save. Alex Henrich to safety first, pushing it wide, but it'll be a corner to come now for the visitors. Well, Mark Grant usually will pop up with a goal or two every season for Hartford City, but hey, getting an early tester here inside of 8 minutes. Hartford City load in the box as Henrich. I mean, that's basically looking like a Friday afternoon traffic congestion on I-95. What he's trying to battle through right now is there's 6 or 7 bodies in the area. This one instead goes to the back post. Betcher trying to keep it on, which he just about does. Betcher dragging it across, but New Haven will clear, and it's not a bad area, actually. Lucas Almeida able to win it. Now Almeida, that will be a foul, and this might be the first yellow card of the match, and it is, as Andrew Bilby will pick up the yellow in the 8th minute. A yellow card has been assessed to Hartford City FC's number 7, Andrew Bilby. Yeah, that was very much a tactical foul from Bilby as he was beaten for pace by Almeida. And the referee, usually at this level, you kind of build your way into the match, but Bilby picking up that early yellow. And no doubt the way that New Haven United has attacked here very early on in this match, down this left side with a combination of Kane as well as DeBruna and often enough Preston Alessio. It might be some options now for Hartford City to try and look to get some cover. It'll be another free kick on the opposite side of the field as Malango gets knocked down. This is both goalkeepers with an early tester in this first half. Henrich coming up with the stop. And Alex Henrich, welcome to NPSL Soccer last week, coming up with a PK save in second half stoppage time to secure the 4-1 victory. Henrich, the Dickinson College product from South Salem, New York, but a player that went to Avon Old Farm, so someone that's familiar with the Connecticut region. As Kane Down the line for DeBruna. Plays it in, looking for Alessio, but it's cleared away. Boy, but watching those two work, Preston Alessio and Pal Santanak, those are two players that have really found an understanding here in the first game and 10 minutes of the second. As that ball down the line cut out by Ethan Mounts. Mounts, who wears number 5 for Hartford City. Grant able to find an option. Bilby is asking for it. Gets around DeBruna. Andrew Bilby onto his right, but right at Henrich. Well, Bilby is a player that can get in behind and score a goal or two. Last season, he scored an absolute thunderbolt of a goal in the North Atlantic Conference Final up in the greater Albany region against New York Shockers. It was one that took over 1,000 people by completely surprise at the Afram Sports Park, but one that probably should have been up on SportsCenter Top 10. Player that no doubt is going to be making some noise when he goes to Stonehill coming up in the fall season. Stonehill, another one of those teams in the Northeast Conference that will be competing against the likes of the University of New Haven and Central Connecticut State. As now for Hauschild. And this is another aspect of the game that not only New Haven have brought out early on in their campaign, but something that's always been dominant for Hartford City. They will keep the ball on the floor and they will let it do the work for them. They're teams in this league that will play very direct at times and will go back to front, but these teams stylistically are probably two of the more enjoyable teams to watch. As Malango gets cut down, it'll be a throw-in for New Haven on the opposite side of the field. Alessio. Oh, it's really well done, actually. Covered really nicely after taking a little bit of a stumble. Again, with that rain that came down right before the match. Be interesting to see how the players would adapt to it. There's DeBruna now in a bit of space. Kane goes back to Hauschild. And talk about the possession so much. Look where Henrich is, almost basically playing as that sweeper keeper, that third center back. Henrich actually credited with an assist last weekend. It was the third goal that New Haven United scored. It was a ball that was played over the top, and Lucas Almeida was able to spin his defender and score. There's a chance out for Alessio on the left foot. It's blocked away. And that caroms off the underside of the dugout. That'll be a throw for New Haven United right in front of us. There's no doubt you can hear it below from us, the visiting support from the fans of Hartford City FC. Always bring the noise wherever they go, and now Hartford City in their 8th season in the league, a couple of times winning this North Atlantic Conference. As that cross gets cut down, it'll be a corner. There's Lucas Almeida trying to swing it in, the UConn product and the former Gatorade Connecticut High School Player of the Year, getting off the mark last weekend. There's certainly a lot of firepower with this New Haven United ball club. A lot of different talented strikers, Santanach being one, of course, with the target, but goals can come from a lot of different places. In fact, Powell outside the 18, as this will be swung in by DeBruna towards the edge of the 6. Not fully cleared by Grant. Keeper comes out but misses it. Oh, just at the last moment, Christian Dion gets a toe to it. Renford Morgan will let that go away, but that's again with this early season. Not a lot of training sessions for both of these squads. You might have a few miscommunication moments. It's off the half volley. That is into the tennis courts. And you feel for the person that's on ball retrieval duty who has got to go get that, because by the time it might stop rolling, it might get to the ale bowl. Just about a quarter hour gone here. JJ Duke with you. Thanks for spending your Wednesday here with us. Thanks for tuning in as well on the New Haven United FC YouTube channel. Our first ever broadcast here from Reese Stadium. As once again, the rain really starting to pick up here. Looking at the radar right before the start of this game, and it showed after that little bit of a cell that came through, maybe roughly about 10 minutes before, 5 minutes before stopping, that we would be good to go, as Dion with the header at the back post, gobbled up by Henrich. But it looked like we were going to be all right, but that's why I'm not a weatherman. I'm someone that talks for a living. But a really nice crowd here on this Wednesday with the adverse weather conditions nonetheless. Well off to our right behind the New Haven United bench. Nice take by DeBruna. Goes down the line now for Alessio, trying to win the race against Mounts. DeBruna will pick up the seconds. Clips that to the edge of the 6. Cleared away, though. Dion, not fully out of danger. This is Alexi Armas. But Alessio not able to dig that out. It'll be a throw-in for Hartford City. Armas, that would be a familiar last name to American soccer fans, of course. Alexi, the son of Chris, the outstanding player and then coach. He's coached at a number of different clubs in MLS, now with Colorado Rapids. Appreciate the shout-out that he gave on social media in the build-up to the first season for New Haven United. But Alexi, not a bad player in his own right. 19 games last year for Hofstra. Had 1 goal, also played a couple of seasons for Adelphi as well, an outstanding Division II program. It's not a great clearance. It pops out to Santanach, a little toe punt, but right down the throat of DiLoretto. Well, that was a bit inauspicious there for Hartford City out of the back. Ended up clearing it off of his own man, and fortunately, DiLoretto is at the ready. That's a good header by Malango, but it only finds the feet of Dion. Christian now cutting inside. Second different stop that he has had in his career as Dion started at the University of Connecticut, and then he moved on to Penn State and had a really good season last year, did Dion. As Grant will reverse it here to this near side. Dion, 16 games played for the Nittany Lions and 9 starts, 2 goals and 4 assists, and in 2 seasons at UConn. He just played 18 times and had a couple of assists. But that's what you get with the portal now. When you have an opportunity to go elsewhere, you're going to do it. And Dion, the benefactor of moving to the Big Ten, as Bilby trying to play it down the line for Grant, but a bit too much on that, and it's out for a goal kick. Game, even though still with just the second match of the season for both of these teams, it feels like it's a bit more open than you probably have for match 1 or 2 of the season, where it's a bit cagier at times. But instead here on this rainy Wednesday evening, it's a bit open. Both teams with a couple of grade A looks. New Haven with a pair of them. And then the one early for Hartford City is this ball pumped over the top, looking for Alessio. It's a lovely first touch. Alessio in on goal, but there's DiLoretto. Had to be wary to that was Nate, but a good starting position to clear it away, and then a foul gets called late. Ooh, New Haven United's midfielder not happy. That's Renford Morgan gets whistled for the foul. The 6'7" midfielder from Kingston, Jamaica, playing at American International College at the Division II level up in Springfield. Bilby does well to get his toe to that, but New Haven will recover by way of Almeida. I can appreciate here at Reese Stadium on the campus of Yale University that they do have the saves and shots counter up, so can already tell you that the Hartford City goalie already up to 3 saves here in the first half, and New Haven's Alex Henrich with a pair of saves. They do have it, I think they have it actually reversed, because it says on the scoreboard 3 saves for New Haven, but it should actually be 3 for Hartford. But hey, that's why we keep it up here as well. Kane with the drop of the shoulder now with Alessio. DeBruna has got a little bit of space in front of him. Dren inside, looking for options. We'll keep it short. DeBruna, oh, it's a lovely ball, and the flag has stayed down, but Alessio had to come back to recover it. And DeBruna, how about that with the outside of the boot, finds Mohamed Kane. Kane, not a bad area, but doesn't get past the first man. And now Hartford City will look to break now as it goes to the feet of Woznicki. Bilby gets it out wide to Dion. Christian taken up against David Rosen, but Rosen does enough to force him inside. He'll come to the feet of Armas. Into the Let's little bit of counter pressing from the visitors. Henrich able to find an option. Ball clipped over the top looking for Alessio. Daigle, dangerous once again from DiLoretto's. Good closing down from Alessio. But that'll be a foul on New Haven's Almeida. Well, Nate DiLoretto getting away with that one there. Again, a little miscommunication between he and Daigle, as Alessio doing really nicely to press on that. And Alessio's already stood out here in the early stages. Taft product. Won a title back in the fall season and a prep player of the year and All-American as well. He's going to be playing at the University of Connecticut up in the fall. And that's what you're going to get with a lot of, this New Haven United squad. It's a lot of local players, a lot of guys who have experienced both high school and prep ball in this region, and a number of players playing at Yale and the University of New Haven. And then, of course, a handful of UConn players in there as well. As Alessio not able to link up with DeBruna. That'll be a throw for Hartford City. Jaden Paniagua with the throw. Paniagua, Sacred Heart product. Played 18 games in the 2023 season as a whistle. Betcher gets fouled, and it'll be a free kick once again for the visitors. Seeing that luminous gold jerseys that they're wearing as they broke that out at the back end of last season in the NPSL. Really frenetic finish to this conference last year as the New York Shockers got the number 1 seed. More on that in a moment as Mark Grant in a pocket of space goes now with Jacob Woznicki. He's in. Woznicki onto the right, but once again right at Henrich. Well, it's a few times now that Hartford City have found some pockets of space and good positions on this right side. They're trying to attack Alex Hauschild. They've gotten in a few times. As DeBruna not able to get that. But yeah, going back to how last season went, especially for Hartford City, where it was one of those where they picked up steam at the right time. They had a little bit of a lull in the middle of their 2024 season, but got a couple of good results. And then they hosted this 2-3 almost super semifinal because the Shockers won the quote-unquote regular season title. You just call it the number 1 seed in the NPSL. But it was a wild game where Hartford City, they were playing off-site. Usually their home is Trinity Health Stadium, but they were playing at Oakwood. And they were down to New Jersey United, who are still in this NPSL, but playing in the Keystone East Conference. Geographically, it makes a little bit more sense. But New Jersey playing, they were up 2-0, and it was pretty late on, but a couple of goals from Hartford City in the final moments, one from Larson Richards, and then another goal, a set-piece goal from Jake Williams, who is one of the fan favorites for Hartford City over the last couple of seasons. Williams, a former Holy Cross player, and then that match went to penalties where DiLoretto came up with a big save right at the end. And then Hartford City, they dominated the New York Shockers over the course of 120 minutes, went 1-1 after 90. Match went to penalties, and then a little bit of a, shall we say, controversial ending to that match because it was Colin Goodhines, who's on the bench this evening for Hartford City. Looked like he scored the penalty, but it was ruled off. Going back to video, he actually clipped the inside stanchion. It was protecting a wheels. This is a heavy tackle right in front of the Hartford City bench as Betcher is getting some final instructions from the official. Not happy with that tackle was Armas. But yeah, Goodhines scored the penalty, ruled out. The ball had clearly crossed the line, but instead it was ruled no goal. You can't go to VAR at this level. But despite a worthy protest from Hartford City, it was deemed null and void, and New York Shockers ended up advancing in the NPSL postseason because of that. And actually, for the Shockers, it was big because they went down to Westchester United, which for those that are unfamiliar, one of the strongest amateur teams, not only in the East region, as Mohammed Kane gets himself free out wide. Kane still going, and he earns a throw. Yeah, so the Shockers win on the road at Westchester, then lose to FC Motown, another perennial favorite in this region, both at the amateur level, USL League 2 and NPSL. But because of that result, the Shockers ended up getting to play in the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup, and they played Hartford Athletic. And that was a match that I know that Hartford City have been desperate to play in against Athletic for a number of years because both share the same home. So for City, it's the top level of the NPSL, which they still are, no doubt about it, but with a trophy in hand, and then get to the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup for the third time in organization history. New Haven would like to get there in just year two. That's another late tackle. This is going to be whistled on Jaden Paniagua. And after what was a start in this match that was a bit more open, we're now starting to see a little bit of chippiness. Couple of late tackles in there, and you know what? For two teams that are separated about 30 or 40 miles or so, you love to see it. Have to have a little bit of that bite when you have two regional rivals. It will, of course, organically take time. That's how it works, but this match could always set the tone as this is clipped over the top. Not a bad area. Centenach looking to bring it down. Morgan, but it's cleared away. Dion now. That'll be a foul on Alessio. Probably one for Preston. That situation might not needed to take because there's two on the man on the ball. Nowhere to go, really, but free kick, and Grant will get back underway. Oh, it's a missed header by De Bruyne out of the back. Dion with some space. He's got a man out wide. Dion goes down under some light contact. Referee says play on, and now we go the other way. Well, on second look there, if you're Christian Dion, he had a man busting a gut down the left wing, play a square ball, and he's through. Unfortunate in that situation. Because it was Parker, it was not Parker Vosic. I thought it was Vosic making that run. Was that Bilby? Yeah, it was Bilby. That's a lovely first touch, by the way, by Almeida. Paniagua goes only as far as Housechild. Malango. That's a bit of a heavy touch, and now Hartford City can break. They've got options through the middle. Still they go on. Shot's not a bad one. It's off the bar. Oh, that was an unbelievable strike. It was from Ethan Mounts carrying forward. But now Hartford City a bit stretched here. Centenach trying to hold up. Goes with Morgan. Almeida. Well, that was awfully close there as Ethan Mounts putting it off the bar. You could just tell, especially from our vantage point, from the moment that it left Mount's foot, that was destined for beating Henrich. Just only matter if it stayed on the right side of the bar or not. It did not. But that's a real sign of danger now, as was Nicky. Goes back to Christopher Cedarquist. Vosic. Grant, lovely spray to this near side. Better touch by Betcher. Nate goes short with Dion. He's got an option again to his left, and that one just goes wide. Oh, Christian Dion not far away from opening the scoring in this one. That one was just a whisker from that far post. But Hartford City now in the ascendancy here over the last 5 minutes. Dion's gotten a couple of good spaces, of course. Mounts putting one right off the crossbar. This might be one of those for New Haven's head coach, Cladis Capillari, to try to find some overloads, especially on this left side or the near side of your picture. Because Housechild has gotten beat a couple of times. Henrich. Now Armas. That's a good ball. Centenach. Lovely switch. And now New Haven can go. And there's options going forward. Almeida screaming for it. It said it's short to Kane. But the offside flag comes up. Oh, that ends what could have been a lovely move for New Haven United. A lot of credit has to be said from that touch on this near side by Almeida. New Haven looked to have been in. Malengo, good recovery, and he goes with David Rosen. But he undersold that pass, and that'll be a free kick. Kane going right through the back of the defender. As we're up on the half-hour mark here of this second meeting, or second game for both of these squads. Stadium knocking off Osner's FC 4-1. And then the weekend before that, Hartford City opened up their account, a 1-0 win against the New York Shockers. As we go through the course of the second half, there's no other matches that are being played elsewhere, but we can tell you how things are going across the rest of the North Atlantic Conference. Again, the defending champions of this league, El Farolito. Yes, that lovable Burrito Boy squad out from California. A team that's made a couple of runs in the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup over the last few years. They knocked off FC Motown in the national finals, one that was played in pretty horrific conditions. That's what you get, of course, in summer soccer. Well, that's got to be a foul, and Malengo's going to go into the book. Absolutely. That will come in the 31st minute. This Tyrone Malengo, the captain for New Haven United, will see a yellow.
The referee has issued a yellow card to New Haven United's number 21, Tyrone Malengo. A yellow card assessed in the 31st minute.
So now both teams with one slice of cheese here in the first half. Cheddar, sometimes American, you never quite know in terms of the color of yellow. But off the set piece, it's cleared away first time by Housechild. That's good work by Santanach, and he sends Almeida for a run. It's a very heavy touch, but he's able to recover. Almeida waiting for options, but he had none, so he puts it right at Di Loretto. Yeah, that's one where Lucas does ever so well to get down the line. Maybe keep going, cutting just onto the end line, and then look to square it across. Or maybe at that point you could say, go ahead and cut it back onto your own right foot and have a pop. Almeida once again, another heavy touch. This will go home to Di Loretto. Oh, it's a dangerous back pass. Hartford City claiming the deflection. They will get it, but Christopher Cedarquist selling his goalkeeper short on that one. And it's a few times now that New Haven United have had some success with that press from the forwards. Whether it is the center backs or they go home to the keeper, Hartford City might have to be a little bit more aware, especially again with the slick conditions on this Reese Stadium surface. Sometimes safety is not the worst thing in the world. Just play it out and see, and to fight to live another day. Vasic winning it back. Vasic had a really good season with Northern Kentucky back in the fall. 16 games played, 14 starts, a couple of goals and an assist, including scoring an absolute screamer towards the end of the season. Did Vasic. Malengo, how about that for a bit of texture out wide? Sends David Rosen on a run. Now Morgan reverses here to this near side. Tell you what, New Haven United have done a really nice job. Yes, that goes out for a throw, but they've done a nice job at using the full width of the field. There's going to be a change coming on here for Hartford City. It is. It's Colin Goodhines Trevor Rao that's come onto the field. That one caught us all by surprise. He literally just sprinted onto the field. We'll get the confirmation of the player that came off. Yeah, so Rao will come on at right back. Still trying to kind of figure out which player came off the field for Hartford City. This will be a throw for New Haven United. Jaden Daigle, I think it might have been. No, Daigle's still on. Oh, Paniagua maybe. More on that in a moment as Alessio now looking for an option. Yeah, I think it is Jaden Paniagua that came off the field. That substitution coming in the 34th minute. Alessio, little through ball ahead, a chance here. Oh, it's a needed intervention by Ethan Mounts. He had to time that tackle well, and then there's some extras after, and a kick as well. The referee has brought a yellow card out here, and it will be shown to Rosen. Ooh, some extra spice here on this Wednesday evening. Still kind of waiting to see how that all transpired as the referee quick on the spot with the yellow card. So I think I have it as Rosen picking up a card. That was in the 35th minute. Is that Vasic maybe? Well, now you can see the referee going over across. I actually have a chance to get a look back at it here. So there's a late push. Oh, and then the third man in. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, is that the man that just came onto the field? No. With the late push. We had to be awfully careful there, and I think it is, just going to be a yellow card on Mounts. So that'll be Rosen for New Haven and Mounts for Hartford City, both getting yellows. The referee has issued yellow cards in the 35th minute to New Haven United FC's number 3, David Rosen, and Hartford City FC's number 5, Ethan Mounts. Also confirmation of the substitution in the 33rd minute. Trevor Rao comes onto the field, wears number 3 in replace of Jaden Paniagua. The definition of literally a lot of things happening in a very short window. But there we are, back underway. And now another late tackle. This is going to go on Renford Morgan. So that substitution, by the way, for Paniagua, I wonder if that was maybe a design substitution at 35 minutes or one that was tactical. I did speak about how the fact that New Haven were having a lot of joy down this near left side of the field. Now a set piece to come for the visitors as this is floated towards the edge of the 18. Knocked down Malengo, misses at it. But fortunately for him, there was Henrich. Well, Tyrone Malengo will be thanking his goalkeeper after that one because that one just a little bit closer to Dion. He's through with no one around him. But this game already with 4 yellow cards in the first 38 minutes. I'll go downstairs to check with the officials after the end of the half just to see if we have everything right, as Di Loretto will claim at the edge of his area. Dion. Bit of a pocket of space to run into. He's got options. He goes out wide. Nice little move to the inside. Shot took a deflection. It will be a corner. Well sought there by the referee. Was that Mounts again? Yes, it was. Ethan Mounts has been everywhere here in this first half. So it'll be a corner. Sent in from this near side. Good header away. That was by Housechild. Winning that in the first time. Rao. It's a big switch. A little bit of a heavy touch by Bilby. New Haven will clear, but it's very much been all Hartford City over the last 10, 15 minutes. Bit of a stumble, though, by Daigle. He's able to recover just. He goes back now. It's Cedarquist. Cedarquist, a couple of games at Northern Kentucky last year, played 3 previous seasons at Stonehill, joining his college teammate Parker Vosich with Hartford City. DeBruna able to intercept, but only as far as Raw. Oh, it's a lovely slip ball. Now a chance here for Bilby. He's got guys in the area, but it's cleared away by Malengo. He gets clipped as well. There'll be another corner kick to come here. It's going to be Bilby that will send this in. It's an outswinger with the right. New Haven claiming it went out of bounds, and it did. For those unfamiliar, why? If the ball, even off of a corner kick, if it goes completely over the end line, it does result in a goal kick. So back over to New Haven. You could probably figure for Coach Capillari, maybe getting to halftime might not be the worst thing in the world right now. It was a good start, but the last 10, 15 minutes have been a struggle at times. Maybe just a chance to cool things off. It's not the worst situation, obviously still level pegging, and this team do show signs when they could go forward, they can be ruthless, but Hartford City have definitely gotten a little bit of an upper hand here. Dion once again, but that pass behind the substitute Raw, and he'll be out for a New Haven throw. Should also mention the substitutes for both of these teams, by the way, on the bench for New Haven United. Lior Gurion wears for Jans Alarcon, a New Haven product. Lucas Silva, Owen Bull, a Yale player. Alex Brown and Rodrigo Pinero. And then the rest for Hartford City, Julian Ballister is a replacement goalie. Colin Goodhines, Noah Silverman, Damian Pollard, Matteo Azambuja, and Vincenzo Diliberti. About 3 minutes left to go here in the first half. Big switch. The header goes all the way through towards Henrich, who's been credited now with a couple of saves here in this first half. Actually, Henrich officially now with 4 saves to Hartford City's Di Loretto with 2. Another heavy tackle. Free kick for the visitors as Rosen, another New Haven player, as this roster. A lot of Yale players, a lot of New Haven players, and I know that Coach Capillari wanted me to give a shout to the appreciation for head coach Tommy Matera of the University of New Haven and for Kylie Stannard of Yale to have a lot of their players spend their summers here with New Haven United and build that community foundation of having local players stay local and play with this team. I bet, of course, for the Yale players getting to play on their home field, that's just an extra bonus. Dion now skipping past Armas, and then Armas gets whistled, and this will be a yellow card in the 44th minute as he clips up Dion. And that is now the 5th yellow card shown by the referee.
The referee has issued a yellow card in the 44th minute to New Haven United's number 6, Alexi Armas.
Yeah, so that's now Rosen, Armas, and Malengo all on yellows for New Haven. And for Hartford City, Mounts and Bilby. There's now a chance here for the host to break. Squaring it through towards Almeida. The overlap of Kane. Lucas Almeida! It's blocked away. Bit heroically, but the job done. The move still goes now for the hosts. That ball is not kept on. It will be a throw for New Haven United as we enter the 45th minute. just waiting on the amount of minutes of stoppage time. Probably going to have a few of them from our fourth official. This ball clipped over the top. Almeida able to recover it. Lucas trying to go end line. Oh, he kept it on. Probably could have been out for a corner, you know. Almeida. Armas able to drop the shoulder. Renford Morgan with a drive. It's just wide. Oh, that was not far off. Renford Morgan nearly opening the account, as in fact the rain has once again started here. Again, we are just waiting on the signal of the amount of stoppage time in this first half. So we'll just keep it on the field here. Nate Betcher able to skip by DeBruna. Betcher squares it across. It's cleared away at the last moment. But now New Haven United can break. Alessio. It's a good ball down the line for Almeida. He's able to win the race. Almeida, DiLoretto, though, off of his line. It's blocked away. And it will go out. And that's actually going to do it for the first half. Scoreless after 45 minutes, but certainly one that didn't have, well, limited entertainment. It had a lot of it. Bunch of grade A chances, a bunch of yellow cards, but 45 minutes in the book here at Reese Stadium. It's New Haven United FC 0, Hartford City FC 0. We'll step aside. I'll be back for commentary in about 15 minutes for the start of the second half here on the New Haven United FC YouTube channel. All right, and welcome back here to Reese Stadium on the campus of Yale University. Just about ready to go for the second half of this interstate, now starting to become a tasty rivalry matchup in the NPSL between New Haven United FC and Hartford City FC. Again, JJ Duke here with you. Thanks for spending your Wednesday here with us as we're ready to go. In fact, underway to begin the second half between these two teams. As our scorekeeper has forgot to put the clock on here on site, but we'll just carry on as is. There'll be Hartford City going from right to left on your picture in the gold jerseys, with New Haven United in the blue jerseys with the big white numbers. The shot total 6-5 in favor of Hartford City. There's now Christian Dion able to take that down. Dion, a man who is certainly in fine form over the course of that first half, generating a number of chances. Dion trying a little bit of a slalom move inside, but New Haven able to cover it away. It was a half where the two teams, shall we say, were kind of feeling each other out over the first 15 minutes or so, and then it was Hartford City in about the 23rd minute or so really started to take over the match. They generated a handful of chances, forcing tough saves from New Haven United's goalie Alex Henrich. But ultimately no goals to come of it. The best chances from New Haven United, first off in the opening minute, Pau Sentinach with a tight angle chance that was saved. Then Renford Morgan with a drive from just outside the area in the 42nd, 43rd minute. Then Henrich coming up with a couple of stops. Also, Andrew Bilby missing a really gilt-edged chance in that first half, but there is Bilby right now. He gets tackled off the ball. And then the part where the game got a little bit spicy was for the fact that we had 5 yellow cards in that first half. Also, a little bit of a skirmish between a couple of players. It was, some will say, coincidental yellow cards for New Haven United's David Rosen and Ethan Mount. The chance now here for Rosen, trying to cut it across, but it's cleared away. However, Mohammed Kane able to intercept, and now Kane trying to swing it in. That's not a bad area, actually. It's headed away. As Alex Brown onto the field, came on at halftime. Comes now to Kane. Kane squares it across in a dangerous area, and that could have gone anywhere. It will be out for a corner kick. But again, with the greasy and slick surface that we have here, that ball could have gone anywhere. And now the first set-piece opportunity for New Haven United here in the second half, as the hosts will load the box. Instead it goes short to De Bruyne. Dren to the back post. Oh, it's a needed header, and it had to be won in time, as Hartford City will clear their lines. New Haven claiming a deflection. There is one, and it will be a throw for the hosts. And just trying to look around to see if there was any other changes from that first half. I see Armis out there. I see Santanach still out there. Kane is there. Housechild still out. Tyrone Malengo is now gone to center back position. It'd be Renford Morgan who is off the field at halftime, so that makes your change for you. And it'll be a throw to come here for Hartford City. I'll get to that substitution right now for the fans. Substitution at halftime for New Haven United, exiting the field at halftime, number 8, Renford Morgan. Entering the field, number 24, Alex Brown. One thing we'll have to get note for downstairs is a little more quicker on getting the substitutions up here. That would be obviously a little bit helpful. But hey-ho, first match, always a level to improve on. Then again, with the crowd that we've had here on this rather less favorable weather condition Wednesday night, proves that we're going to have a really good support system here for New Haven United over the next couple of seasons here in the NPSL, at least over the course of the remainder of this season. So Brown into the match, kind of doing some homework on him over the course of his collegiate career. One of a number of players that can find a way to help this club in a few different directions, as this will go back to Malengo. Alex at the University of Massachusetts, but hails from Cheshire, Connecticut. 19 matches last fall for the Minutemen. UMass actually going to be moving from the A10 to the MAC. This is a nice turn from Santanach, and he scores! Pau Santanach giving New Haven United the lead in the 50th minute, and that's already his second goal of the season. New Haven United FC goal! The goal coming in the 50th minute, his second goal of the season, scored by Pau Santanach. Oh, the big man's done it again. A man that garnered all conference accolades with New Haven last season. Well, there you go. A touch and a little spin, and he finishes with a plum. That's exactly what New Haven would have wanted here. And it's that talisman who bagged a number of goals for the Chargers last fall. 8 goals, 4 assists, part of a team that reached the NCAA tournament at the Division II level. And there was nothing that Nate DiLoretto could do about it, as he was able to turn and get it onto his left peg and then just sweep it into the far corner with a bit of pace behind it. And now Hartford City, for all that they've done over the course of the first 50 minutes or so, they're playing catch-up. I think actually because of the fact that the clock didn't start on time ahead of us. So I'll put that down as the 51st minute. Basically just add 1 to everything that comes on. But still, of course, for the visitors, plenty of time for them to figure things out here. Both teams have used one substitution as Mohammed Kane gets dispossessed by Mark Grant. A swing and a miss by Brown. A chance now for the visitors to break. Vasic. Not a bad idea. Malengo goes to the back of Jacob Woznicki. But the referee says it was shoulder to shoulder, and it's just out for a goal kick. Armas sitting in that pocket, just in front of the 2 center backs. Hauschild. Now to Bruno, trying to play this over the top, looking for Santanach. Santanach might be in here, but just a little bit of a heavy bounce off the wet surface. Goes into the grateful hands of DiLoretto, and now Hartford City trying to turn the screws on here. Bilby. Looking down the line. Hauschild, though, able to recover, but he gets dispossessed, and now the visitors are in. Couple in the area waiting for it. First-time shot by Betcher is blocked. And Tyrone Malengo, the captain, who is told by Coach Capillari, leads by example, and you can see right there getting in front of that shot and then absolutely getting after his team. And it looks like Hartford City are going to be making a couple of changes here, as Noah Silverman's going to be coming on in the 54th minute, as is Mateo Azambuja. Those are 2 attacking-minded substitutions for the visitors. They're still trying to figure out who's coming off the field. But yeah, Azambuja, Mercy University player, my apologies. Stand out for Hartford City last year as Betcher comes off. Didn't quite catch the other, but I will report to the crowd nonetheless. Hartford City double substitution in the 55th minute. Entering the match for the visitors, number 8, Noah Silverman, number 17, Mateo Azambuja. Yeah, so Azambuja, a player that played junior college soccer in his first season, that came over to the club last year, handful of goals down the backstretch of the season, someone that's just a really tricky winger but also couldn't play up top. And something that no doubt New Haven United will have to be aware of is Mohammed Kane gets whistled for the foul. And Silverman, many years a standout at Quinnipiac University. This is pumped immediately over the top, looking for Woznicki. Gets a shoulder in the back from Malengo, but was Nicky able to hold up? Silverman. It's not a bad area, but Azambuja was just making a run centrally that needed to be stayed just a bit out wide. Not a bad area, though, for Silverman, who's been in and out of this club for a number of years, Noah. This is his 5th year now with Hartford City. Had a golden assist last year, and a player that played nearly 50 games for Quinnipiac with 4 goals, 4 assists. The diagonal ball intended for David Rosen is deflected out. Yeah, so only just 3 field players left available for manager Andy Parker for Hartford City. Well, that would be Colin Goodhines, a defender, Damon Pollard, and Vincenzo Diliberti. Azambuja will chase after it, but De Bruno will go home. Dion, got another slaloming run. He draws a whistle, and it'll be a free kick in a pretty good area. Inside the lacrosse restraining line, you can see a number of the NCAA Division I Women's Lacrosse Championship banners still out here at Reese Stadium as Yale Women's Lacrosse hosted first and second round action in the NCAA tournament last week. As quickly off the set piece, Malengo able to clear that away. Kane, though, not fully out of danger. Mounts will go back home to Christopher Cedarquist. New Haven United asking for the flag. They will get it as it was a delayed offside on Mounts. He's now moved to the left back position. I think the other player that came off for that double substitution might have been Jaden Daigle. Yeah, I don't see Daigle on the field, so he was the one that joined Betcher in exiting in the 55th minute. Brown has his pass cut out. Now Dion. Azambuja, a little 50-50. De Bruno comes away the better. Brown able to win that off the bounce of Grant. That's played through. Actually, if Centenach kept this run going, he was onside. The pass, I think it was intended for Lucas Almeida, but move ends up coming to nothing, and now Grant. Tell you what, Mark Grant, by the way, his 8th year with this club, he is running back the seasons, looking like a Rolls Royce out there in the middle of the park. I was actually joking with Jameis Fight, the goalkeeper coach for Hartford City before the match. I've known Jameis for a number of years, and he was talking about some of the players that had departed after the conclusion of last season. Said one player, yeah, he's old. Not going to name the player, but I'll say the age of 26. 34, and I still feel young. Well, Mark Grant looks very good out there at the center of the park. Still looks like he could go to full 90 if he wants to. In fact, he played almost the entirety of their match a week and a half ago against the Shockers. As we are coming up to the hour mark here. Again, the lone tally in the 51st minute from New Haven's Pau Centenach. And some of the Hartford City fans below me not really pleased by that call. Again, spoke about it in the first half, a very vocal group, but certainly making their voices being heard about their displeasure of that last whistle. And with these two teams meeting up in just a couple of days' time up in Hartford, no doubt some of the not-so-pleasantries will carry over on the weekend. The throw for Dren De Bruyne, very active over the first hour of this match. De Bruyne, as we mentioned, the MAC Rookie of the Year at Siena. 2 goals, 10 assists in his first campaign for the Saints out of the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference. It's announced as New Haven United's first signing back on February the 27th. Some USL Championship experience with Hartford Athletic as an academy player last year. And an international at the youth level, representing previously both Albania and Kosovo. As the rain starts coming down again, but it'll be a corner kick to come for New Haven United. It's not a bad ball. It's cleared off the line. Oh, it was Rosen with the effort. Now Armis just over the bar. Oh, that was two chances there. First, David Rosen leapt, and it was cleared off by the man at the post, and then Alexi Armis let that fly from some way out. And oh my goodness, it is absolutely cascading down with rain. It was looking pretty across the light across the way for a moment, and now everyone seems to have headed for cover. It's a credit again for the people that have come out here. It's a nice skip-by move and a chance now for Preston Alessio. Alessio onto his right, dances, shot deflected. He'll be out for a throw. Tell you what, he doesn't look like a player that's going to be playing his freshman year of college soccer in the fall. Alessio looks really experienced out there, not afraid to try something as Kane gets end line, sweeps it across. That will go out for a throw. Armis to the back post, headed away. Throw in towards Centenoch, the goal scorer. Grant looking to clear, which he does. Now to Kane. First time effort. Hey, you know what? On a night like this, don't mind that whatsoever. This is again how this surface is going to continue to slicken up. You have that ball kind of twist and knuckle and have it drop right in front of the goalkeeper. You never know how it's going to react. So Mohamed Kane, a player that brings a lot of experience to this club. Former Wilbur Cross High School player, then went to Dickinson. Good covering by Malango as he takes it off Silverman. And able to keep it on. Tyrone trying to dance his way out of traffic, but now it bounces to Dion, who tries it on his own, and it's covered up. Well, there is a stoppage. There was a coming together between Malango and... that Ethan Mounts it is. And immediately the athletic trainer being asked to come onto the field. And in a situation where there could be a potential head injury, there's going to be all the precautions taken here. Well, it's good to actually see both go off, though. It's Malango who's actually favoring that right ankle of his. Mounts is the one that was holding his head for a moment. It seems like everyone's okay. I mean, you could see it. It is absolutely chucking it down with rain right now. And the weather forecast that I saw said it was going to be done at 6:30, and that has been an absolute lie. Looks like the system is basically just broken up in front of us. And, yeah, it's going to be pretty much like this for almost the entirety of the second half, which is not exactly ideal. It's going to be a drop ball given back to Alex Henrich in goal. Henrich, who's been credited for 5 saves for New Haven. Now, something to keep in note for a lot of these players, we'll talk about the post-grads for a second, something they have a bit more of on the Hartford City side. Guys haven't played a lot of matches since the end of, last summer. So with the fact that Hartford City a week and a half since their last game, but then turn it around and play on Sunday, could be one of those for Andy Parker where you're not quite sure what you're going to get. So do you try and rotate the rest of your reserves in, or do you just try and run with the remainder of the last 28, 27 minutes? As this ball to the back post, it goes by everyone. Henrich is going to see it just out. good battle across the way, but the New Haven goalie does well enough to shield. And looking at the players that are left available, you do have some younger players on the bench for Hartford City. But managing the minutes, playing twice in a week is always challenging. Then on the opposite side for New Haven United, they played on the weekend, play on Wednesday, and then play again on a Sunday. So that's 3 matches in 9 days. And not too much rotation for Coach Cladis Capillari. So you wonder maybe there's some players that might be available to go on Sunday that are just being rested here for tonight's matches. Mohammed Kane dances around a defender, still goes on, clips it to the back post, parried away by DiLoretto. Some of the Hartford City players were asking, did that ball go out of bounds? But Santanach still keeps fighting on, and he'll be whistled for a foul, and he's not happy about it, and he slams the ball. That should be a yellow card. Oh, I'll say this, the referee who's called this game pretty well, that's one of those situations where you slam a ball like that, you probably should be booked. That's just an unbiased view and usually how this sport goes. Did he book him? Yeah, he did. So that card would come in the 67th minute, I believe. As Hartford City will build out of the back. Dion looking for an option, goes short. Silverman, lovely little 1-2. Dion. Going to let that run for a moment as Malengo. Oh, it's lovely from Dion, but it'll be a free kick. A chance now for Hartford City to get a few players forward here. Yeah, there was a yellow card that was shown on Pau Santanach. So we'll get that right now. The referee has issued a yellow card in the 67th minute to New Haven's number 19, Pau Santanach. So free kick now in a dangerous situation here for Hartford City. Silverman near post. It's cleared away. Boy, that was left for a second. Not quite sure who's going to get the shout. But it was cleared away by Armas, and it looks like New Haven are going to be preparing a substitution. Nope, never mind. Silverman. Again, looking towards the penalty spot. Still not fully cleared away. Mounts. Good to see that he recovered after that nasty tackle a couple of minutes ago. And Silverman trying to flick it around the corner, and that gets cut off. And now New Haven will try and break through Lucas Almeida. Big switch by Kane over the top, but lost a little steam on the way through. Now here comes Parker Vasic. Out wide with Azambuja. Again, the tricky winger loves a step over. Azambuja just showed it, and it's cleared away. That's certainly a break there as the flag will come up as Santanach was in an offside position. It's fun to little see there as a Cox Cage across the way just lit up at night. It's the indoor track facility for Yale. As this comes all the way through, keeper started to come. Nicky goes back, now it's Silverman. Dances on the edge of the 18. Vasic. You could see what he was trying to do there, but didn't have enough steam behind it. Parker trying to curl it into the upper corner, but only put it right at Alex Henrich. Henrich now up to a half dozen saves here in his home debut. It's not a bad area, but again, you can see where this turf's starting to really grease up. That ball's just going to keep on moving. New Haven are going to be making a substitution here, just almost flying onto the field to be Jans Alarcon in the 70th minute. New Haven United substitution in the 70th minute, entering the match, number 5, Jans Alarcon. Oh, that's a bit of a nasty one there. And the referee is going to bring this back for a second. That's fair. I'll give him that one. Moment here for the player that's down on the field, and the referee, are they going to let the trainer come on? No. Meanwhile, substitution will come on for Hartford City. It's going to be Colin Goodhines. And he'll come on with about 20 some odd minutes to go. It looks like Santanach still on a little spot of bother down there. Still hunched over at the moment. Hartford City FC substitution in the 70th minute. Entering the match, number 2, Colin Goodhines. DiLoretto now. Well, it's a lovely switch to Dion. Just a bit of a heavy touch and well in by Alex Brown. Again, you can see now some of the players starting to readjust the footwear a little bit because the amount of rain that we've had come down over the course of this match, it's really started to become a problem spot for the players just to even get a clean first touch of the ball. On Kane and Vasic coming together there. The referee says play on. Now Alexi Armas into the path of Alessio. But DiLoretto again reads it, spills it. Oh, there should be a corner ball. Oh, they're going to say goal kick. Oh, the assistant on the near side said that it was actually Preston Alessio that got the last touch. But again, that's even the danger, just coming out to collect a simple pass. DiLoretto with the gloves starting to get a bit wet out there, and even he's starting to dry them on his shorts. It's not easy, and this is where, again, mistakes can come frequently. Players just have to be so secure with their passing. And then when the opportunity is on, just to have a pop at goal, you do so. And you're never going to be faulted for playing it to safety. As Alarcon concedes possession, one of his first touches since coming on. Kane. Brown. Not a bad ball down the line. Grant. Little reverse pass. Nice touch by Silverman. It's not a bad area. Again, don't mind that. Looking for Woznicki. No, it's dangerous. That should be a yellow card on Alessio. No, they're going to say just a foul. Definitely came through the back of Mark Grant. A little bit of contact close to the head. And he has stayed down, the captain for Hartford City. Again, a lot of cause for concern right now for Mark Grant, who still is yet to get up after that tackle. And good to see Pau Santanach helping the captain back up there. But a free kick now with about 15 minutes or so to go in this one. And again, this is one of those, if you're Parker Vasic, put it on goal. See if it can bounce right on top of the 6-yard box, because you don't quite know how the ball is going to react. It's a long way out, but he'll have a pop. Takes a big deflection out for a corner. And look at Alex Heinrich fired up after that one. His wall doing the job. Yeah, that free kick was about 34 yards away from goal, but again, you can see how hard it's raining out there. You're going to see shots being taken from some ways away. Now Hartford City going to start gambling. A few more players into the box. It's a low one, though. Santanach does enough to clear it away. It's a heavy touch. Goes back to DiLoretto. Good recovery by the first. But now gives it away to Kane. Lucas Almeida. Goes short to Armas. Armas! Yes! There it is! Alexi Armas giving New Haven United a 2-goal lead with about a quarter hour. New Haven United FC goal! Scored by number 6, Alexi Armas! Goal scored in the 76th minute of the match. And what a finish it was by the Hofstra man, Alexi Armas, just putting that one away, slotting it just inside the far post. And once again, there was absolutely nothing that Nate DiLoretto could do about it. So after Santinach scoring in the 51st minute, Armas with about a quarter hour left to play. But you have to feel right now, if you're New Haven United FC, that 2-goal lead is a very precious one to have. There's no doubt Hartford City are going to start to throw everything at it. And for those that are unfamiliar with how this NPSL setup works, this may be the first time you're watching, and of course you're wondering, well, why is the season starting in May? Well, you have to wait for all the college players that have eligibility to play come in play, but it's a 10-match regular season. You play every team in this conference. There's a total of 5 teams. A couple of times, as Santinach trying to run onto this. Muscles off Colin Goodhines. Lovely back heel. Alessio. That's a well-sought tackle. Will be out for a corner. You play some teams twice, some teams 3 times. So the point of the matter is if you can rack up points early on in the season while everyone's still trying to figure it out, you are in business for the second half of the regular season because, well, if you have already double-digit points in the bank before the beginning of, we'll say, June 10th, then you're going to be not playing catch-up. And if you have a little bad run of form, that's okay because you'll recover for the final few matches. Looks like Owen Bull is getting ready to come on for New Haven, but that will be after this set piece. That one goes straight into the side netting, and now the hosts can make their change. And it will be the Yale product, Owen Bull, who will check on for the host, and it's going to be for Mohammed Kane.
New Haven United FC substitution entering the match, number 18, Owen Bull. He replaces number 17, Mohammed Kane.
So Bull, the Yale product, completing his first year with the Bulldogs this past season, a couple of times champions of the CIAC with Trumbull High School and scoring over a half-century of goals during his high school career. He comes on trying to give some fresh legs. Oh, and the referee says play on. Looked like a little bit of a tug to the back of the jersey, but Bull now will leave that off for Almeida, and New Haven might be in here. Almeida, he's got Alessio off to his left. Almeida is going to go at it on his own. Can he finish it? Oh, it's a save. DiLoretto bravely coming off of his line, and that might be a match-preserving save if Hartford City can get back into it. Well, what Lucas Almeida did, just slaloming past 3 different defenders, he earned his right to go for goal at that moment. And he tried to pass that one through DiLoretto, but made himself big and brave. And DiLoretto, who is certainly a fan favorite for Hartford City FC fans, I mean, if the visitors can find their way back into this match, mark that down with about 12 minutes to go. That is a huge save. As we say that, Silverman now has a man out wide, and Azambuja, he goes that way. Mateo with 3 in the box, plays it across. Henrich gets a piece of it, and it's going to be out for a corner. Well, you'd love there for Azambuja. He loves that step over and to chop it back onto his left foot. He didn't elect to do that. It's an in-swinging corner, but goes towards the edge of the 18. Azambuja tried to do anything to keep it on, and New Haven will just clear it away to safety. as Mark Grant will go and just shield that out for a throw as we're coming up on 10 minutes left to go here. Again, the first of two meetings on the week between these two clubs. Again, these teams scheduled to meet up, I believe, again on Sunday, listed on the NPSL website at Trinity Health Stadium. But New Haven United FC fans, make sure to check out their social media channels, especially on the on Instagram, because doing a lot of good stuff over there with content. That'll be where you can find all the information for the return leg as Almeida once again splits a pair and he gets tripped up. That's outstanding work there from Lucas Almeida. That's proper winger play right there, and he's gone centrally at times as well. The man that was the former Gatorade State Player of the Year in Connecticut. 105 goals in his career in high school at Hall High School. Hopefully gets a little bit more run at UConn in the fall because you can see what he can bring to the table. As now Dren De Bruyne is going to stand over this. And again, this is what I said earlier. You're not going to be faulted to swing this at goal or maybe play it into that corridor of uncertainty and force Di Loretto to make a choice. As I say that, Di Loretto asked for one to get close, so near post effort, and it's forced wide by the Hartford City goalie. And honestly, in that situation, everybody did their job outstandingly. De Bruyne put that on target towards the upper corner. Di Loretto had to be sure with it and pushing it wide of the mark. And now you can see the official pointing to the watch and saying, boys, you keep delaying proceedings. We will continue to add more time. Alessio was the intended target, but Colin Goodhines heading it away. Goodhines, by the way, a really solid season for Skidmore in the fall. 16 starts, 6 goals, and 1 assist, garnering second-team all-conference accolades. Someone that's really been so consistent in his young collegiate career and then having a really solid season last year, playing 9 matches for Hartford City. Lexi Armas gets it out wide. Little 1-2. Alessio trying to return it to De Bruyne, but the referee says no. We play on. Well, goal scorers in this match for New Haven, Pau Santanach in the 51st minute, and then Armas getting the goal just under a quarter hour left to go. As Alessio once again here, overlapping run, swung across, is looking for Bull. Alessio gets the second chance, shouts of an offside, and yeah, there is going to be one as Dren De Bruyne was in an offside position when the rebound came back to him. But Hartford City really just can't wait around here. That pass just straight into touch, and New Haven will love that. By the way, so this is me watching Armas play in person for the first time, and you can tell when a player is just got that composure and the great read for a game. This is a guy who's just been sitting in the pocket pretty much all night long and has been barking out orders left, right, and center to everybody. And that's the making of someone who's got a long future in this game. That's the number 6 for New Haven United as a free kick gets called. And it looks like substitutions for both teams as it's going to be Lucas Silva who will enter the match with about 5 minutes to go. As Parker Vosic will depart. And that will be Damon Pollard who will enter for the visitors. Substitutions For both teams, first for Hartford City FC entering the match, number 15, Damon Pollard, and entering the match for New Haven United FC, number 9, Lucas Silva. Off the free kick, a little push in the back. The referee says play on, and it's just dug out. This will be a corner ball for the visitors. Silva, by the way, scored an absolute worldie of a goal on Sunday against Osners FC. It was a ball that was pumped over the top. The goalkeeper for the host that day was playing about 30 yards off of his line, headed the ball away, and then Silva, first time with the left foot from 45 yards, dunked it into the open net. So Silva, certainly, who wears the number 9 jersey, can bring some excitement. As the second phase from the set piece, Henrich, well played. And also with Lucas Silva, this is a player that has had some experience at this level. Is a bit of cause for concern right now by Alex Henrich, who's now grabbing at his right shoulder. Now, I do not believe, actually, that New Haven have a reserve goalkeeper on the bench. He's still kind of pointing at that right shoulder of his, but he'll at least carry on. I think that's part of the point, where if you don't have a reserve keeper, you just got to battle through it. But yeah, Lucas Silva, player that was part of the Ole FC team in UPSL, ended up winning the spring season national championship, an undefeated season for Ole FC. Bagged a bunch of goals, spent some time down in Brazil, also played at Western Connecticut State University at Division III level. There's now another substitution comes. And of course, it's a player wearing the jersey number 20, and they didn't give me a player wearing jersey number 20. Is it going to be a throw-in for New Haven? It is. Is everyone kind of pointing in which direction? But it'll be a host throw-in coming up in about 3 minutes or so left to play. Again, downstairs, they didn't start the clock on time as Jans Alarcon holds it up, but just plays it into space. Di Loretto kind of side-footing that away, but it's picked off by Santanach. Oh, interesting there. Now, he wasn't in an offside position. Oh, they say handball. Because I just saw the referee point at his arm to say it must have clipped the hand of the New Haven striker. Because there's no way for offside. Now Mounts, he gets knocked down. The referee says no. And Tyrone Malengo behind the play also saying the player went down a little too softly. Chance out for Woznicki. What a tackle. That's Owen Bull dropping back to make a play. And now Santanach has stayed onside as he was in his own half. It's 3v3. There comes Almeida busting it down this right side. Santanach goes short. Dren de Bruyne saved. Oh, that would have capped off the 3 points for the hosts. But Di Loretto once again coming up with the stop. Now he's on about a half dozen here in this contest. That was a great tackle, by the way, by Owen Bull. That is a listed forward coming back and making a key intervention. As Malengo will just power that away. Starting to get to that time of the match where really anywhere will do here. That'll be a free kick, and Hartford City can't really waste around right here. They got to start going. And Woznicki will play it short. Now I think we should be at about full time, as again, the clock downstairs didn't start right at the whistle, and it was a little bit of a delay as well, or if we're not at the 90th minute, we're just about. Well cut out by Silva. Lovely skip around the referee. That's a good advantage. Nice move by Alarcon. Now into the channel for Bull. Well, really, he could go for corners here. Yeah, that's a smart decision. Again, just a player that completed a first season at the collegiate level, Owen Bull, but knows that there's time to be taken off the clock. Dion. And once again, that's Alex Housechild with the interception, doing enough. We're now most definitely in second half stoppage time. The flag has stayed down here. Mateo Azambuja leaves it for Dion. Dion! It's back on! Christian Dion with the goal. It's 2-1. Well, just hang on a second here with only about a few moments. We are in stoppage time. The Hartford City will take it. There's also a yellow card that's coming after the fact as well. The Hartford City will not worry about it one bit. Goal scored by Hartford City FC's number 11, Christian Dion. Substitution for New Haven United FC. Entering the match, number 28, Rodrigo Pinero. There's also, I think, the scoreboard here at Reese Stadium, with all the rain that has happened, has decided to kind of do its own thing. So I know we are in stoppage time at this point. It's probably about the 92nd minute. I think I saw somewhere downstairs that there's going to be 4 minutes of second half stoppage time, but there very much could be more. As Rodrigo Pinero has come on, and now here comes Hartford City with their goal scorer, Dion. He's got a few in the box to aim for. It's not a bad area, but Malengo able to sky and win it away. Oh, that's a heavy tackle, and that's going to be a yellow on Noah Silverman, and that's his second, and he has been sent off. As Hartford City will now play the remainder of this match with just 10, as Noah Silverman, who's picked up 2 yellow cards, he is now off. The referee has issued a second yellow card to Hartford City FC's number 8, Noah Silverman. Well, I believe in all of that after the goal was scored. I think the referee did issue a yellow card after the ball went into the back of the net, and the referee is going to be asking for the athletic trainer to come onto the field. I'm just getting confirmation. So it was the yellow card after the goal was scored to Silverman, and then you just received a second yellow card basically in the space of 90 seconds. But at this point, it really doesn't matter in terms of the context of this game. However, Silverman will be unavailable. As they're also being told, yeah, it was the 3 minutes of added time, but we are now well into that, and we're basically at the discretion of the official at this point. Again, we are very deep into stoppage time here. Now the boys for both sides trying to get one more gasp here, a little bit of air left to try and finish this one off. Hartford City trying for what could be a miraculous comeback in the final moments. Christian Dion scoring on the stroke of full time. New Haven United getting 2 goals in the second half, one from Pau Santanach and one from Alexi Armas. In what has been challenging conditions for all the players out there, but the first of many battles between these two squads. That pass was hit short. Bull's asking for the ball over the top. Instead it goes to Santanach, and the flag will come up for offside. The referee has taken a look at the watch, but he is not blown up yet for full time. Flick on header. Housechild has to clear it away. The referee's got the whistle in the mouth, and that will do it. New Haven United FC win their first home match in organization history by 2-1 over their in-state rival Hartford City FC. An outstanding match between these two squads who, again, will square off on the weekend up in the capital city. But this was a nice little appetizer for what could be an outstanding 2025 season for New Haven United. As again, the goals scores in tonight's match. Pau Santanach in the 51st minute, Alexi Armas in the 76th, and then in second half stoppage time from Christian Dion. That's going to do it for us, for our entire production team. I'm JJ Duke signing off. Thanks for spending your Wednesday here with us. You've watched a presentation of NPSL Soccer on the New Haven United FC YouTube channel.